If you hear the word Muslim, you may think of terrorism and brutality, but did you know that Western science was incredibly influenced by the medieval achievements of the Islamic world? As an example, let's start with mathematics.
Many mathematical basics were used by the Islamic people to build their complex buildings. Just think of the beautiful mosque with their geometric patterns and decorations. One important Persian scientist of the early 10th century was Muhammad al-Khwarizmi, who was the director of the House of Wisdom in Baghdad. The House of Wisdom was a big library which included many manuscripts and books about various subjects in arts and sciences, in different languages, Arabic, Hindi and Latin. Al-Khwarizmi strongly believed in the Hindu numerical system. Furthermore, he introduced the concept of algebra into European mathematics. His most famous book, Dixit Algorithm, is about algorithm as we know it today. Let's go on with astronomy. The Islamic astronomers used the knowledge of Greek, Indian and Persian astronomy and translated it into Arabic. Then the first observatories in the Muslim world were built in the 9th century. Abd Rahman Sufi, a Persian astronomer, wrote the Book of Fixed Stars in the 10th century. This book contains position, magnitudes, brightness, color and drawings for each constellation.
In the late 10th century, a huge observatory was built near Tehran in the Iran by the astronomer Abu Muhammad al-Kushandi, who observed the series of meridian transits of the sun, which allowed him to calculate the tilt of the Earth's axis in relation to the sun. He also found out that the axis is not constant. The Persian Omar Khayyam compiled many tables and performed a reformation of the calendar that was more accurate than the Julian and came close to the Gregorian calendar. During the Middle Ages, there was a lack of astronomic scientists, but scholars found astronomic notations from the Muslim world in Spain and Sicily. They transcribed these notations from Arabic into Latin. Last but not least, let's have a look at the Islamic medicines. Most of the Islamic and Persian medical achievements and techniques developed in the time period between the 7th and 13th century. The Eastern medics preserved and improved Roman and Greek achievements. Nevertheless, the Arab scrolls and documents were translated into Latin not until the 12th century. They even founded the first system of distributing patients in hospitals. The Eastern doctors in the Middle Ages also dealt with psychological well-being. Their knowledge about herbalism helped them to invent first anesthesias which contained hashish and other herbs. One of the most well-known Islamic doctors was Ibn Sina. In fact, we can say that most of the contents of the subjects we learned at school were heavily influenced by the Muslim scientists of the Middle Ages.